Hello, this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Today I want to show you an AT&T 530, and this is Ron's telephone, and he's from New York. And so basically this is the initial checkout of this telephone, and he's got a note here, and he's just talking about his telephone, and in the note he never mentions exactly what the problem is, but yet we talked about it and discussed it. And so I get so many calls about telephones, I can't remember each individual telephone, so I'm not really sure exactly what the problem is with this telephone. And as soon as I contact Ron, we'll talk it over. But when I first connected this telephone up to the line, to the analyzer, when I picked it up, and I want to show you this telephone, it's an AT&T 530. And these were really good telephones. They also have a volume control here on the side, and that seems to be working. The keypad is lit, so it's a really cool telephone, and it was a good telephone. And so basically, when I first connected this up, when I would press one of the numbers, it would just keep repeating itself. But I'm not getting that right now. So I assume that it's probably going to be something with the keypad. So it'll be some type of keypad issue, because everything seems to be working. We also need to find out, and I'll show you the base of this unit, there may be batteries in this handset, but I'm not 100% sure of that until I look at it. But we don't seem to have any function on any of the pre-programmed numbers. They don't feel like they're making a connection to the keypad. And I do have what's called a low battery light up here, but it's not on. So there may be some type of a, and this hold button doesn't work either, or the program button. So it's probably going to come down to some type of keypad issue. This star or the pound button does not seem to work very well. So we're going to go ahead and do a initial check here, and I want to take the telephone apart and troubleshoot it. So we'll be right back. Okay, we have the telephone apart now, and kind of like what I suspected, what we have here is, if you look at the keypad, which is a plastic board with conductive material drawn on it, as you can see, these heavy dark brown spots will be some type of a liquid that has been spilt into this telephone. And so that keypad has to be cleaned. And you have to be really, really careful with these, because the conductive material can actually disintegrate from liquids and things being spilt on them and sitting on them for quite a while. And so that's why when I said earlier in the video, when I first connected it up, I was getting these key bounces, which is numbers that bounce and continue to dial by themselves. It's because they were making conductive, they were making a contact from the liquid. And so now we know that what I had found first of all was one of the problems. Now I'm going to take the keypad out. I want to remove this. I want to show you just how much of a spill was in there. I don't know that you can, the video's picking that up very well, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Q-tip, and then I'm going to wipe on it, and you can see how dirty that Q-tip is. I'm going to take this clean side, and I'm just going to wipe on it, and you can see just how much liquid has been spilt into this telephone. And so this will all have to be cleaned. This is another issue that will have to be taken care of, just for the simple fact, although this keypad really doesn't do much, it has no conductivity to it, it's still sticky, and it has to be cleaned. Then another part of this is also the insert that holds your keypad. We want to pull this up, and that's the same way, as you can see. You shouldn't see any of that brown. Now you should see copper, and the copper will turn colors depending on what has been spilt on it. But once it's clean, the copper may not be as shiny as copper should be, but it needs to be cleaned, and so that's another issue. One other thing I found when I took, and you can see the spill is actually inside the keypad here of the frame of the telephone. So we know something has been spilt into this telephone. Another issue I want to show you is right in this area of the modular port. It's turned green, and it's got oxidation on it from the spill. But right here on the back of the keypad on the main PC board is something else I want to show you. Right in this area here, right in this area right here, we have a kind of a burnt board, basically, and solder that's charred, and it's from voltage running through here and crossing over. There's probably some more liquid up in this area of the phone that'll have to be cleaned up. But right in this area here, it's like a battery in a sense that has a lot of corrosion on it. So that has to be taken care of. So there's quite a bit involved in what we have to do here. So what we want to do is get started on it and clean everything up. See if we can't go into this circuit here and clean it up and see how much it's been damaged. And we'll kind of go from there. So we'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back now, and we've repaired about 90% of this telephone. In the earlier part of the video, we showed where the keypad needed to be cleaned and the conductive board that's in it, which is a flexible board, which is conductive material drawn on the plastic for the keypad. And so all that has been cleaned and put back together again. And we went ahead and put it all back together because of the fact that it's pretty hard to get everything aligned in the plastic back into the situation where it was at and get it all to lay properly. And so it's not just a simple take it out, put it back in thing. You have to make sure that everything is just right because of the flexibility of the plastic board, basically. And so now we're at this issue here where in the earlier part of the video we had a lot of corrosion. And so this modular port has been cleaned, and we've cleaned up all of our solder points here and got that squared away and got the corrosion off of it. Now what I want to do is I want to resolder this area of the board and take care of that. So I'm going to go ahead and clean my soldering gun. We want to get that soldered up because that corrosion actually will affect the solder points here, and I want to make sure that we get that soldered back up. So now what we can do is we can do our final checks. I'll go ahead and give you some dial tone. We want to make sure that our switch here is working. That's low, medium, and high. Low, medium, and high. So we know that works. If you watch the analyzer, what we'll do is walk through our numbers. I'm going to end in a 2, and so now you see a 2 on the analyzer. I'm going to hit the flash button, and I'm going to hit redial, and that will end in a 2. Okay, I'm going to hang up, and I'm going to press the hold button, and this light will light. And it has a light on the back also, because on the cover that shows you that it's on hold if it's laying down. Plus you can see the button here if you're just holding the phone. So I'll turn that off now. Now what I want to do is I want to program a number. So I'll hit program. I'm going to dial my number, and I'm going to stick it in the fire. So now I hang up, and it just dialed my number. So that's how you program those numbers in. Now if you unplug this phone from the telephone line, you will lose that program stored number. And there goes my number again. But that's how you would program in a number. Now, I'm going to unplug it here real quick, because I want to show you on the inside of this board, when we ended up cleaning the board, which is that flexible board that has a conductive material, the liquid that was spilt on this board actually ate the traces to the hold button and to the program button. So what we had to do is redraw on conductive material. And you don't want to clean that board with just anything. If you don't know how to clean that board, then you probably shouldn't try. Because if you wipe off any of the conductive material on that plastic pad behind here on the board, then the keypad board or board that is flexible, that has the conductive material on it, if you wipe any of that conductive material off, it's done. You'd have to get another one. And you can't just go order the board anywhere. You would have to find another parts phone or something like that. So it's best, if you've never done it before, to probably leave it alone. But we actually had to draw on the traces, because the traces were eaten away by the liquid for the hold in the program. So now let's do this. Let's go ahead and plug it in. And we want to dial it 2. And then if you watch this red light here, because now what I want to do is transmit into the microphone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello, hello. Every time you see that red light when I transmit, that's an indication of 100% modulation on transmit. So we know our microphone is working in the circuit. There's your dial tone. So now what we can do is we can put the cover back on. And we can put our screws back in our cover. And then we'll do some more final checks. We'll call it time and temp. And see, that says line in use, and hold. Okay, we're back now, and I want to show you one other thing in this checkout about this telephone. Now, when you see this, we have it back together again, and we're going to do our final checks and call time and temp in that. But when you see this line in use button on the back, which is an LED indicator, we know the hold button will work, but we're going to check both of them. Line in use just means that if somebody else is on the telephone, this will blink, all right? And so I have another unit hooked up to the analyzer, and I'm going to go ahead and turn. You'll see the analyzer kick on. And now that it's activated, it's like somebody else is on the line. So that's an indication that somebody's talking on your telephone line, but yet this telephone is not active. So it's just an indication that somebody's on the line to tell you, okay, I may not want to disturb their telephone call. So that will flash at you. Now what we can do is turn this unit off, and that will stop flashing. So we just wanted to check that out. Now another thing that we want to do is we can press hold, and then you will see that light in case you lay the telephone down. Some people will put it on hold and lay it down, and that's a warning, this light here, that you're on hold. So now what we can do is I want to move this telephone over to a regular line. And we'll call a time and temp number.
Good afternoon. When you need body work, we're a short drive away. Offenburg Body Center, 234-0330. Today is Tuesday, October 16th. The time is 3:04. Current temperature, 91 degrees. Now the Belleville area weather forecast. Partly cloudy tonight, lows in the mid-50s. Wednesday becoming mostly cloudy with occasional showers and thunderstorms, a high in the low 70s.
Now, we are in the loud setting here. Give you some dial tone. We'll call one other number. We'll call my number, and it'll be busy. And we can hit program. I'll dial my number, and I'll store it right here in the upper left. Hang up. Dial tone. Now it should dial my number and be busy. So we know that this telephone's in working condition and it has been repaired. Okay, one final check is we want to ring the phone. Put it on loud. Put it on low. Give you some dial tone. We'll dial our numbers out one more time since that was the issue. I'm going to end in a 2. I'm going to hit flash. Redial. It'll end in a 2. Then I want to transmit one more time into the handset. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello, hello. So we know this telephone is repaired, and now we can get this telephone back to Ron, and he can start enjoying his telephone again. This is an AT&T 530, and they were very good telephones. You can't get them anymore unless you find a used one somewhere. But it's funny how they make some cool stuff, and then they quit making it, and you can't get it any longer. This is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.